So starting the test drive in this Palisade Calligraphy with all-wheel drive, this does pull just a bit differently than the front-wheel drive models, just because you're getting power to all four wheels as opposed to getting all of your power pulled from the front. So it does just make it feel more linear. You don't feel like you're about to do a burnout from the front wheels. And that can be a gift or a curse depending on how you like to feel your vehicle, but having the all-wheel drive capability is always good just because it helps you with your traction in those light snow or light off-roading conditions. Now, most people that get a vehicle like this are not going to use it for that. It's just one of those things where you want to have it if you ever need it. But I do like, I guess, how much more confident I am behind the wheel knowing that I have an all-wheel drive system. Now, with this being the Calligraphy, I will say these, I think, are very underrated for what they are. Hyundai did a fantastic job at making this look and feel like $1 million without the price tag to match. Because, I mean, you have the headliner, which looks fantastic. The screen, everything on the dash looks really good. It's just a super impressive setup here. Just everything feels great. And one impressive feat, I think, is you get heated cooled seats in this second row. And honestly, I don't know that many vehicles. I mean, there are like 150, 200 grand vehicles that don't have heated cooled rear seats. So it's just nice to have that in a $55,000 vehicle. And keep in mind, everything else feels premium as well in here. That's not the only place where Hyundai shines with this Palisade Calligraphy. But we've been in smart mode now. It does a pretty good job just keeping you in that normal mode or comfort mode when you need it. And then when you put your foot into it, it's ready to go into sport. But I'm just gonna put it into sport now, getting on the interstate here and test out these paddle shifters. So we'll give it a little pull here. And I'll use the paddle shifters too. Not gonna redline it, but so what I love about the 8-speeds that Hyundai has is they are so quick to shift. Specifically when you're in sport mode, it's just the snappiest transmission you can imagine. Now I have the adaptive cruise here, lane centering. So not a full self-driving or semi-autonomous system, but it gets the job done for me at least. And then it's also not that intrusive as well, like in Teslas or maybe GM Super Cruise, where, hey, you gotta have your eyes where I want them to be at all times. So I appreciate that, because most people who pay attention while they're driving and aren't on their phones, this is relaxing, but I don't necessarily want to be watched like a hawk. Just making sure that the sensor can see me, and if it thinks that I'm not paying attention for half a second, it's gonna just start going crazy. And then I feel like they become more of a hazard than a help at that point. But overall, ride quality, even with these 20-inch alloys, is fantastic. Just a smooth riding vehicle in any configuration. I wouldn't necessarily say put 24s on here, but every Palisade I've driven has always been a great ride. But I think if you're in the market for something like this, even like a Tahoe or, I don't know, an Expedition, take a look at this, because for the money, I feel like you get more other than space, and it's just, I think, a more practical vehicle for a lot of consumers out there. And with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy.